Hey, what's up, guys? Jonathan here from the Scaling Consultant, where me and my team work with marriage coaches to help start or scale their own offer with a proven growth system. But let's get right into the video. So today we're going to talk about why marriage coaches had inconsistent leads. Oh yeah, this is way more common than you guys realize. So if you're a marriage coach and if you feel as though, your lead flow is all over the place, like 1 month you're fully booked and then the next month your calendar is empty, don't worry. This training is going to show you exactly what happens and how to fix it permanently. And here's some hints. It's not with more posting, it's not with more effort, but with systems that work even when you're not working. So inconsistent leads every month is a common problem that a lot of marriage coaches have to deal with. And then some of the factors that, they encounter would be, 1 month they'll be fully booked out, which is absolutely phenomenal. But then the next month, empty. And then because of this cycle going up and down, one minute they have clients, another day they don't, ends up not being scalable. Because it's not scalable due to the lack of consistency and systems in place, your revenue is going to keep going up and down. You're literally going on a revenue roller coaster. And having unpredictable income every month leads to cycles of panic that no one really needs to endure. But this is the beauty of it. These are all symptoms of the bigger problem that, marriage coaches are facing, which is inconsistent leads. They're dealing with inconsistent inquiries, and that all leads to inconsistent income. And what I'm about to show you is the root cause that most coaches never identify. So now I'm going to talk to you about the real reasons why leads are inconsistent. And we're going to start with the truth. The truth of the matter is your content is not the problem. Your consistency is not the problem. Your passion is not the problem here. The problem is you don't have a predictable client acquisition system installed. Right now, most marriage coaches rely on random content, random referrals, random DMs. Honestly, they live a random life. They have to hope for more engagement, where it just becomes, you're essentially gambling with your business, and that's not what a fully functioning business should feel like. Your business cannot grow if your lead flow relies on luck all the time. So here's the biggest misconception I've noticed. Coaches think lead generation means posting content, but content doesn't mean more leads. Content means attention. You need a system installed to use that content to get more leads. So there's a huge difference between a content strategy and a client acquisition system. So most marriage coaches have the first one, but almost none of them have the second one. So if you're a marriage coach, you need to understand something here. This niche is emotionally charged and requires a lot of trust. So because of that, you're going to need more structures than other coaches. So here's the thing. Most marriage coaches struggle because you're speaking to two decision makers, a husband and a wife. And if one of them is not fully bought in, the sale dies. The opportunity to work with them is gone. So this adds more friction in the sales process. But we also have to acknowledge that the problem is urgent, but it's also emotionally heavy. And nobody wants to admit their marriage is breaking. This means your message must do double the trust building, because people are dealing with shame, fear, and some could be living in denial still, which will lead to slow decision making. So something we also need to realize is that couples rarely buy after one piece of content. You need sequences, you need to nurture them, and you need clear calls to action, not random posting. There needs to be a strategy behind and a purpose behind every single thing that you put out there. They don't know what's included. They don't know if it's gonna work. and they don't know how long it's going to take. Like, this is essentially a whole mystery for them. So couples may realize that they need it, and I'm even interested in it, honestly, but they're going to stay silent due to the mystery behind it if they've never had to go for marriage coaching before. This is why marriage coaches need a predictable, clear, and frictionless lead system more than almost any other coaching niche. If I'm going to be very honest here, you need to be very dialed in for this. So there's only one fix to this, and it's a predictable lead system. So I'm going to go over the 3 components of a predictable lead system over here. And here's the interesting part about it. It's not about more content. It's not about more posting. It's about installing a real system, having a traffic system installed, a nurture system installed, and a transaction system installed. So I'm about to give you the free sauce that 99% of coaches never get. So if you want consistent leads, you must build out all 3 of these pieces. And I'm going to go over it right now. So the first system we're going to go over is the traffic system, because if people don't know you exist, then you don't have a business like at all whatsoever. It's because, this is how strangers discover you and enter your world. For marriage coaches, the best traffic sources that they can use is posting daily short form content and making sure that they're including emotional storytelling within their content, and having relatable couple struggles as one of the topics you can discuss, debunking marriage myths, which is, very important because there's a lot of misinformation about marriages out there that people don't find out until they get married. So if you can be the one to break those lies for people ahead of time, that would certainly gain a lot more trust, and will also give you an opportunity to offer some nuance. You also need to be able to have real conversations and even role plays. But the key is not posting, it's posting with a pathway. Let me explain what that means. So every piece of content must point to one next step. Everything you do needs to have a purpose. It needs to be able to lead your audience into the direction you want them to go. So some examples could be like DM me check-in, something like that. Grab my free marriage reset roadmap, or comment the word communicate and offer some type of free value for them. It's because attraction without conversion is just wasted effort. Most marriage coaches have 0 nurture. So they literally just have leads just sitting there. And in order to build a nurture system, you need to have weekly value emails. You need to have easy DM conversations. You need to have marriage case studies. You need to have simple frameworks in place. You need to show mini breakthroughs, posing questions. You need to also have some personal stories. And you also need to figure out what your goal is here. You need to show couples you understand their situation better than they do. So you have a good nurture system when your cold leads find and watch your content and they get invested into it. And another sign of a well-developed nurture system is when your warm leads watch so much content and they're so invested into it and invested into what they believe you're able to do for them, they become hot. And then that leads them to want to buy and opt in and work with you. So the third system you need is a transaction system. This is where you get warm leads, and then they watch so much content after nurturing them, they finally decide to book a call. And now you have to start getting ready to close them. So this is actually where coaches struggle the most. You need a repeatable way to turn attention into booked sessions. Let me give you an example. A DM script that identifies who's ready. You need to have something that essentially does discovery for you. You need to have a call flow for your discovery calls to be properly set up. You need to make sure you have clear program positioning, and you must also have a waitlist system installed. And you also need to make sure that you have a simple CTA, which is a call to action strategy, already implemented. You also should have a marriage check-in call system, which is supposed to be a very simple offer flow. It should have the least amount of friction to get in. So you also need to set up a good follow-up system. For instance, in the first 72 hours, what are they seeing in their inbox? What are you giving them to make sure that they stay on fire for your offer? And not only that, say they decide to book a call but don't show up. How are you going to make them, for those that decided to back out, how are you going to make them want to be reinterested in your offer? So you also need to have a 7-day nurture follow-up system in place. So for instance, say somebody saw one of your videos and decided to book a call. And say they decided to book the call, like say they saw a video on Sunday and they decided to book a call with you on Friday. What are you doing to nurture them in that time period to make sure that they show up to the call, but not only show up to the call, are still interested in working with you? You need to have a system like that in place. So you also need to consider that you need to have a nurture system set in place for people who opt in but end up being no-shows. You need to think about, what are you doing to make sure that they come back? How are you nurturing them in that time? Because you can definitely take a no-show as long as you keep sending them free content, free value. I promise you, they'll come back. These are some of the things that people don't consider. And they're losing a lot of money and a lot of clients because of it. Now, when you have these three systems working together, you essentially have content that feeds conversations. You have conversations that feed calls. And then you have calls that feed clients. And then these clients become testimonials for you. They become the social proof you need to further scale your offer and your marriage business. And these testimonials are perfect for generating more content, because once people see that your offer and your solution actually works, you're going to get a lot more people to opt in. And that's how you build and maintain momentum. So here's one of the frameworks we would actually use with our clients. Step 1, we make sure that there's one core promise, because once you have that established, your marketing becomes instantly clearer. And for step 2, we make sure we have one weekly value engine installed and in place. It could be something like a mirror board or an email or a weekly touch point that we can give to your audience. So for step 3, we'd also be making lead magnets on a specific problem, micro problem, that we can solve for your audience, because this will create trust, and the free value would, honestly, people would just like you more if you just give them free stuff, and free stuff that works. And if it's short, tactical, and practical, believe me, they're going to be opting in for your larger offer. And for step 4, we'd have a 1DM conversation starter, which essentially is an automation. When people type in a specific keyword on, say, Instagram, we'd make sure that they'd get a response immediately. And we would also make sure they don't just get a response, it goes directly to their DMs. And then from there, we'd have one of our setters get them to sign up for a call. And for step 5, we make sure that we have one simple offer presentation. Not a sales call, we would be offering them a clarity call. Most coaches try to scale with chaos. Keep it simple. That's all we need to do. We just got to keep it simple. So this framework condenses your entire lead system into 5 repeatable cycles. If you want to learn how to build these systems for yourself, a traffic system, a nurture engine, and a transaction funnel, don't worry, I got you guys covered. I created a free guide that will help you build these systems out. And if you want access to it, just check out the link in the description below. So if you guys got any value out of this video, I would appreciate it if you could please like and subscribe and tell me what you think about it. What did you learn from this video down in the comments below? It's absolutely free and it would mean more to me than anything. You guys have a great day and I'll talk to you soon.